Hey, I see CJ the Beat God.
What's going on, man?
Chillin'. Another day in paradise. It's like 90 degrees up in Cali. Cali
Yes,
is
sir. It's
on
about that
fire.
down here too.
See, we always on the same page, man. Cali's on fire right now. That's what I'm hearing in the media.
Yeah.
Hey, for anybody catching this, do not believe everything you see in the media. Think about where it's coming from, what they want you to think. Do your own research, your own homework before you buy into all that. Just throwing that out there.
Right.
Anyways,
And do not
CJ,
allow them to tell you a peaceful protest became violent because of anything other than what they start.
what am I missing here? People just
If we it just a little recap on the news. Your president sends a national guard out there your way on some peaceful protest.
we're just 6 months in.
Sounds like a violation of the constitutional rights to me.
That's what I heard. I think National Guard, I think that's state to decide, right? Like they call for that.
Exactly.
Again.
And he executively did it because he said they weren't doing it.
Yeah, I can talk about this all day.
But
probably would not be a good thing, not a good look.
Yeah, we want to put smiles on people's faces.
Thank you. I was feeling low for a second. I was like this and feeling low, but there's just too much to be grateful for right now. We got a good episode for today. A lot of different news coming, man. Summer, it's almost like fully summer blockbusters. You know what they do. A lot in the comic book world. NBA Finals, Spaceballs.
Pacers up 2-1.
Wow.
What the Halliburton?
What is happening right now? I'm not gonna lie. I think I'll be happy if either team win. Well, I don't even care. I'm not rooting for any real team. But like, if the Pacers end up doing it, wow.
Somebody's getting their first title.
Wow. That I love that.
I don't think the Pacers have ever won one. And we know OKC, since becoming OKC, hasn't won one. I got to go back in the history books to see if Seattle won one.
I'm pretty sure they didn't, right?
Maybe it was way back in the day if they did.
Because in the 70s, it was like the Trailblazers, the Celtics, certain teams.
Right.
And I don't remember the Sonics, man. Like, were they a franchise team? Like one of the first franchise teams? Like,
I don't know if they were one of the first, but they were. Yeah, they're OG NBA team. Yeah.
Yeah, let's see.
Gary Payton was a superstar. Don Kemp.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Coach McMillan, Nate McMillan, was a superstar.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're an early team. It says they were founded in 1967.
Yeah.
And then they're in the Western Conference 1970. So they go way back. Pretty sure they haven't won any championships, or you would have heard about that.
Yeah, I don't think they have one under their belt.
Yeah. So anything stand out from the series so far?
Yeah. Indiana's very balanced. They thought OKC was going to have an easy time, right? Because that was my comments from the first game. Buzzer beater to win the game. Tight game.
Yeah.
Second game, OKC beat them by almost 20.
Yeah.
And was, I want to say, up more than that throughout the course of the game.
Yeah.
But now, game 3, Indiana came back and made a decisive victory. So it's no longer on that table. OKC better get their stuff together. Because OKC was the number one team in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Outside of Cleveland on the East Coast. And we see Cleveland broke down. Cleveland had matchup issues. Cleveland had, I think, some late health issues. So, yeah, they just kind of fell off the wagon while they were riding on the trail. Their wheels broke down.
It's a long season, man, and then playoffs.
The long season.
Playoffs, jeez, we're like 2 months, 3 months of playoffs, championship.
Yeah,
I think they're trying to speed it up though, right? I'm getting it's a little bit faster, but.
Shout out to Tom Thibodeau. Brother, we all feel for you. You should not have lost your job.
Yeah, what is that about?
I will say, though, you got to learn your lesson from this. You have overplayed your players' consistency throughout your career, and you run your core players out of gas. It's why they start getting hurt in the playoffs. It's just why they can't sustain the level of runs they were sustaining during the season. Because he's not using his bench enough. And if you need to go to the front office and tell them you need some more quality bench players, a couple vets, then do so. But the only time they had a shot in the series against Indiana is when he rotated 10 players. When he rested Jalen Brunson and Mikal Bridges and Karl Anthony Towns. Right? Specifically, subbing in Mitchell Robinson at the right time to give Cat breath.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how good you are. If you so out of breath, you wheezing, you're not going to be effective against competition. Somebody that's trying to knock your ass down.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was surprised to hear the news because this was like 2 or 3 days ago, right?
Well, because other than this one key flaw that the whole league sees in his game plan, other than that, he's a fantastic coach.
I mean, that's really it. I mean, is there drama, with the players in the locker room?
Nope. He's good at gathering players together. He's good at making players loyal to him, but he overworks them. And Derrick Rose's career being shortened put kind of a stain on his name with that. Because he was the one that ran Derrick Rose until he was hurt.
I mean, I know from a casual fan, we all want to see the stars out there. But from what I saw, like the Warriors doing and all the top teams doing, they got the role.
Well, we know they need rest.
Yeah. You need, what we did was the 2 units, right? Unit 1, Unit 2, right. And then, but yeah, you definitely need to give them a rest so that they can come in that fourth and take over. Or
we said we didn't want all this extra load management, taking games off.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't say, why are you playing 48 out of 48 minutes? 45 to 46 out of 48 minutes. In all of that runtime, you're giving your main players 3 minutes of rest. You got to be kidding me.
Yeah, that is not.
You wildin'.
That's crazy.
That same thing is the reason why he loses every job he loses.
What's gonna get through to him?
Maybe I don't know. Hopefully this will.
Yeah.
Because he had his team again to make several playoff runs with. And They cut him as soon as they built a possible championship caliber team. They cut him because they saw the players getting hurt. They saw him getting too bruised up, and they saw them run out of gas.
Mm-hmm.
They should have beat Indiana.
Yeah.
It should be the Knicks, and it should be orange and blue skies. Either way it goes.
That would have been sick.
Knicks versus OKC.
Shoot.
It should be. Right? We understand on the West Coast, there's a lot of beasts over there. And Ant is still very young. Shea is even though young, several years in. He has some more experience. 6, 7 years, something like that.
Dang, that many?
Yeah, he's got years under his belt.
Dang.
He's been there for a while. He was a Clipper first, remember?
Yeah.
Got traded to OKC. Actually, the only piece that was traded, that like key piece. You know, OKC is very famous for lining up draft picks and going high in the draft several times over every year.
Yeah.
They're nasty with the draft work.
Oh yeah. Dude, who?
But they traded for Shea.
Who got the top pick in the lottery, man?
You know what? I gotta look that up.
I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I was like, wait, not like no way.
Is it Pelicans? No. Is it Spurs?
Bro,
I think it's the daggone Spurs.
Mavs, man. Shut
the Mavs. That's right, Dallas. It was Dallas. That's right, it was Dallas. Everybody thought it was rigged, but look, here's the crazy thing. Everybody thought it was rigged, right? Just because of the Luka trade.
Yeah.
Dallas ain't never won the lot.
Yeah. And you know what?
So you can't say it was rigged.
Number 2, the Spurs. Jesus, again.
Yeah. Now that's where it's rigged.
Wow.
Because the Spurs end up with a top player every year.
Yeah.
And then go back to the draft lottery. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years in a row.
Yeah.
And nobody says nothing.
I remember that one year they got Timmy. They were supposed to go to the Warriors, man. But somehow the Spurs got that first pick and grabbed Tim Duncan. And they won like, what, 2 or 3 with him. I think at least 2. I don't remember, but they won multiple.
Timmy got 5 rings.
Oh, okay. My bad. I remember David Robinson, Timmy, and okay.
Yeah, see, they got theirs there. And then it was a few years, maybe 2 or 3. And then they landed Tony Parker.
Yeah, that whole
and snuffed Manu Ginobili, right? Yeah.
Wow. So I'm saying, man, these franchise players, man, if you can grab them, you know, make all the difference.
You know, it's a couple guys that worked under Popovich that went on to do some pretty good things. Coach Mike Budenholzer, I think, who's now in Phoenix. Let me give you a track story on Bud. Bud worked for Popovich for like 20 years. He was one of the main brains that Popovich leaned on. He was his right-hand man, assistant coach for a long time. He comes over to Atlanta. We draft Al Horford. We get Dennis Schroeder. We had Jeff Teague. Actually, we had Jeff Teague first. And then we drafted Dennis Schroeder, I think, a year or 2 later. But that was the team that won 60 games down here in Atlanta.
Wow.
And went to the Eastern Conference Finals. Horford, Millsap, Teague. And I want to say Schroeder was playing backup to Teague at that time. He was like 17, fresh out of Germany. Real young kid.
I didn't know he was that young. Wow.
Yeah, he was a kid back then.
Oh my God.
Dennis been in the league for a long time now.
Yeah.
They won 60 games, went to the Eastern Conference Finals. We got crushed by LeBron. I think we got swept. Or if we did, we only won one game. Like it was a gentleman's sweep stuff. Like it was ugly.
That hurts, man.
It hurts.
Kind of like
because Kyle Korver was there. He's now in our front office. He was one of the other main players. His three ball was Niagara Falls, man.
Yeah.
The thing was dropped.
He was automatic.
He was like an AR-15. He was automatic. I promise.
Yeah.
Flat. Lacing. All of them boys made the All-Star team that year. That key four. Jeff, Kyle, Paul, and Al. That was a famous year for us.
That's a tough one.
Because everybody thought the superstars like Josh Smith and them, when we was drafting them, that they was going to be the ones that would carry us all the way. All these freaking hard hat workers. I don't call them plumbers, because that ain't the character I like to put on them. Like that says you think they bum. Even though a plumber ain't no bad occupation. Respect the plumbers. Look up their salary.
That's solid right there. 6 figures.
But I will call them blue collar, hard hat worker. Right? Jeff Teague, Paul Millsap, Al Horford, Korver, they hard hat workers, man.
Yeah.
They go in, they play their role with a consistency.
Millsap, for sure.
With consistency, and they get it done. Go back and look at Jeff Teague's tape, bro. People didn't respect his game enough. He had this little spin move where he would work into the paint and take any big man and put him in the blender and score on you right there up under the basket. If you was there, he was gonna spin you around. You was gonna get lost. Can't find my man. That's because he scored. He's getting back on D. He's out.
Slippery.
He was crafty. He could really ball.
Yeah.
He had a nice jump shot too. But after that, Bud, I don't know if we fired him or he left. But there was a kid that we were working on, I think a little bit before then, who was in the middle of transferring from overseas and trying to learn the game. He was growing some height. He had a lot of brothers. And his whole family have moved from Africa to Greece for opportunities. And we worked with Nike to get him sponsorship and get him and his brothers flown over here. And Atlanta was hiding the kid in the basement. And I do believe there was a couple coaches on that staff when Bud was let go. Because very soon after, Bud ends up coaching in Milwaukee with a young, budding Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Wow.
The Atlanta Hawk brought Giannis to the United States with all intention of him being one of us.
How would that have worked though? He would have skipped the draft and just signed like
No, Atlanta was hiding him like he was a secret. And they were going to draft some unknown kid that nobody had ever heard of. But we had already seen him play. We had already watched him on the Greek national team. And it wasn't his skills at the time. It was his learning capacity. I don't know if you've ever seen Disney movies about him or any of the documentaries about the brother.
I started that. We probably got through about half, and then it was like getting late, and we shut it off. Never went back to it.
Go finish.
Yeah.
The key takeaway with Giannis is that he would never really take more than a day or so to learn a new concept or a new skill.
Really?
So like if he couldn't do the figure eight one day, he could the next day. If he couldn't work the give and go or set a screen one day, the next day he had it.
Wow.
And they were like, he messes up on everything. But every time we show him something, he gets it.
He fixes it.
So they just kept teaching him the game.
Dude, I love that. That's a good lesson for everybody out there.
And now he's one of the best players you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, he's a beast.
And he was scrawny at first.
I was tripping.
He jumped in the gym.
Yeah, man, he like KD. Like mirror image KD. So
he was a lanky, scrawny kid.
Wow.
And then got in the gym overnight.
Yeah.
Saw that grown man pump up.
He got real big. Like, I mean, different.
Yeah,
players, because you just look at him.
Because his skill set doesn't require him to rely on distant jump shots. Right? So he could pump harder during the off season and concentrate more on games so that strength is more a part of his core skill set. His speed and strength and athleticism, right? His agility with the Euro and getting up in the air and being able to twist past somebody for a layup. Or, you know what I mean? Like he's got a rubbery body too. He can twist and turn. There we go.
He's a little skinny kid.
It took him like 2 seasons to do that.
There's another one here. Let me close this.
His brothers were the same way.
Wow. Really bulked up. Oh,
Yep,
here you go. This one's.
But yeah, then long story short, Budenholzer winds up in Milwaukee with this kid. As he's becoming this grown man.
I feel a little bit
because Milwaukee had already snuck.
Like some things just don't go for some franchises.
Right.
That's rough.
Because we got what we wanted. And we took a gamble too. But I see why we took that gamble. Trae Young has more fire in his heart and more drive to win than Luka on a nightly basis. Like Trae keeps a long-term focus.
Mm-hmm. He seems focused. Right. I'll say that.
Luka
showing up, and he's hella good.
Definitely wants to win every game he's playing. But you can see he's not always focused on being his best self out on the court.
What do you think he's focused on?
Right. Life, just everything. It's hard to tell. Yeah. It could be his girl. It could be a lot of things. Because one thing I've noticed watching sports over the years, in every sport, it ain't always when you get your girl. For the guys, that becomes a distraction, because a good supportive wife, and hopefully they're picking well.
Mm-hmm.
A good supportive wife isn't going to want to distract you from your game. But once y'all have a baby,
when I saw the news about him having a baby, like get fiance or wife and baby, I think that was kind of buzzing like a year or 2 years ago. I was like, uh-oh. It's hard though for these players though, man.
And he gained weight. And Trey did the same thing. Nobody ever gives them the excuse, right? The same way they literally expect a mother to want to take her maternity leave, like completely not focus on work at all for a little while. But the man, you got to start doing better. Because now you got an extra mouth to feed. Now you got to elevate. And at the same time, you're going to be up at 2 a.m. too. Because she's going to kick you out of bed to go put the baby back to sleep. Right? If you're going to try to be a good husband and father, you're going to take your turns doing that. Right? You can sit there in the rocking chair and put the baby back to sleep. You're going to take the breast milk and warm it up and go feed the baby a few times. Right? You're going to trade that off. Especially if you don't get that much time with the family. Like if you're always at work, if you're busy at work, you do have to carve out time to participate, you know, in your family household. Family household. Can't talk today.
I feel that, man. Hey, I feel I probably shouldn't even admit this, but damn, I barely woke up, man. My girl just handled that. She was breastfeeding though, so it was just easier for her to just handle it.
Yeah, I mean, and if she wasn't prepping bottles,
easier, but easier for me.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and some people are more traditionally like that. But just go ahead and get up and do it.
Yeah.
Right. I'll tell you a secret though. She probably cut your head off a few times in her mind.
I bet.
But not help.
Let's change subjects. All right, what else we talking about? Let's see.
I got dangerous there. I'm sorry.
Man, she's amazing. She 100% supportive and just always got my back. You know what I mean? So I think for anyone out there, you know, I hope that's why I think it's difficult being a star player, because you're about to get that big money, the fame, the cars. I wouldn't trust anybody with that. So they're almost stuck with their first high school chick. Like
that's why so many of them do it.
Yeah. It's like you're
or at least the college one.
Yeah. High school, college, one or the other, that's it. I guess only for top tier players though. Not the even though I'm sure they get it. I'm sure they get it too.
Hey bro,
they're gonna go in the league.
Bench riders in the NBA are still millionaires.
That's true. Yeah.
I'm just saying. They still rich.
Yep.
Not at the same level, like you said. Couple of them dudes is like, hey bro, I'm on a 3-year, $50 million contract. You're on a 5-year, $250 million contract. I got money too, but it ain't the same.
I take 50 mil over 3 years.
Bro, that's what I said. They still millionaires.
What is that?
I think the lowest salary in the NBA, I think, is 1.1 a year.
To play ball. Travel.
Just to play ball.
I don't know. It is definitely hard to be at that top elite level, though. Like before, it was a different ball game. It feels like now there's just too much money, too much pressure, the lights, the camera. Whereas like in the 70s and 80s, it was just like, hey, that's, I don't know. It just feels different, you know. The stage.
Well, it was so early in development, which is what we try to tell the ladies. You need to be patient, baby. Y'all ain't worked enough yet. We've been building this league for decades.
Yeah.
That's why it makes the money it makes.
Yeah.
Because it's 50 years old. You know what I mean? It's more. We have a top 75. Do the ladies have a top 75 player list yet? How can you? And you haven't been in existence for, have they been in existence for 25 years?
Must be getting close.
When
20.
was the WNBA established?
I think it's close because I feel like it was 2000s.
If it was right at 2000, then yeah. We're right at their 25th anniversary.
You'll never believe this. We're about to hit their 30th anniversary, dude.
Okay, so 30 years. They're coming right up on 30 years. And the NBA was established in 1946. Well, let's say 1949. Looks like the deal was starting in 46. But with the merger with the ABA and all that, and the BA and the NBL and the BA, is when the whole NBA was created. That was August 3rd, 49.
Yeah.
So
they
yeah,
have like a 50-year head start.
We just passed 75 years. Y'all at 30. Just pump your brake. Keep working.
Shut up and play.
When you're 50 years in, you guys are gonna have millions. You will have the TV revenue, right? You'll have the deal. You're getting your first deals now. I guarantee you, in the first 20 years, the NBA also was probably not profitable. Right? It's just something we had to build on faith. And you had to capture the nation in order to do so. Right? You finally have a few ladies who are real attention grabbers. You've had skill players, just like the NBA had. We had an Iceman. We had Will. We had Bill Walton. Right? We had Pistol Pete. We had dudes doing trick shots. Right? On black and white TV. We had that.
Little TV.
Thank you. 19 inch. Double dial. TV hanger in the back for the antenna.
I used to bang the TV.
Come on with it, baby.
Service was bad. Bang it a few times.
Yeah. And use the fork to turn the thing when the dial broke. Come on now.
Hell yeah. See, we OGs, man. What's up?
And so is the NBA.
Yeah.
Them to little niece. Little niece, you're just now growing up. You're going to get there. And you have our full support.
Maybe not full.
Just keep going.
Maybe not full. I think they just got to have faith and keep playing.
Well, no sport has a full support.
Okay, true. But
as far as guys, and that's where I go as far as men versus women, right? There's no man who's objecting to the WNBA. You may have skeptics that say they'll never get to the skill level. And every time a new Caitlin Clark is born, a new Angel Reese is born to be her nemesis, right? The game is going to get a little bit more exciting, even more.
Yeah.
When Juju comes in, it's on.
Yeah.
She's coming. You think they're gonna forget about Caitlin Clark when Juju stepped in the game? Probably not. We didn't forget about Sabrina or Stewie or Diana, right? We dang sure ain't forgetting about Asia. Shout out to Bam.
Yeah. I mean,
Respect,
I guess
bro.
if I was a WNBA
I see what you
fan,
see.
I'd be a little excited though, because I will say, I feel like there's definitely some momentum growing though. I think there's gonna be some haters that can't see past that men versus women thing. Like, why would I do that when I could watch legit ballers or whatever they want to say? But at least from what I've seen in some of the clips, man, these WNBA games, they're pretty solid.
They balling and they play hard.
Shooters, dude, you know, just wow. I gotta say, I was pretty impressed what I saw.
You know what I say? People think boxing and MMA is barbaric. There's some people. Yeah, people like Floyd Mayweather can make $100 million off of one fight.
That's my man right there.
How's he do that? Because it ain't everybody who thinks that.
Yeah, that's true.
Some people really see the skill of the sport, and the sport has their full support. Right? As far as basketball enthusiasts, the ladies have our full support.
Yeah.
Right?
Go, ladies.
We want to see them go further.
Yeah.
Because I want to take my part in personally ending a lot of this back and forth between the men and the women. You know? And the only way that's going to happen is if we just choose to stop and turn around and go the other way. Right? Our sisters, our daughters, our mothers, our wives, our aunties, our grandmas, they're precious. Right?
No, I think
our baby girls.
My take on that, man, when I hear some of that talk, honestly, man, it kind of kills me, because it's just like, don't you have a mom? Oh yeah, I was raised by a single mom. Then why are you talking like that?
That should be even more reasons
exactly
why you would be overprotected.
I don't know, man. It's something didn't come out right. You know what I mean? It's
right.
I think
now, granted, you're gonna run into people that don't act right.
Yeah.
Right? In your dating life, you know, in your day-to-day activities, in your work life, you're not gonna get along with every woman you know. Every woman's not gonna get along with every man she knows. Right? That's life.
Yeah.
But as long as the boundaries of respect don't get crossed, we should still be able to understand that we are all here on the same planet, living the same life.
Exactly. World will be a much better place. Let's keep things moving, man. Should we take a quick pause, hop into Spotify, check out one of the amazing releases from TMH Comics?
I find that to be an excellent idea, my friend.
Let us go. All right. Let's do this. What do you think about Zodiac Guardian? Have we checked that one out? I mean, there's so many that we've been dropping.
I think we've played that before, but if we haven't played the full excerpt, or if there's another chapter or something that we could pull up.
Let's see here. Let me grab. All right. Remember, people, we're here on Spotify and got these little condensed versions of all of our titles, right? So that way you can just get a sneak peek, learn a little bit more about the themes, the characters, the plot, and see if it's something
right before you head over to Amazon to buy it.
To buy it, exactly. So the newest one, Starstrom, We checked that out last week. Solid. St. Simeon's, Revenant. I mean, there's so many in here. So I'm saying, if you got a free minute, you got a little drive, hop into Spotify and check this out. Which one is looking good? Did we check out Pulse, Heart of the City? Why are these looking? I mean,
I'm
that was
pretty
pretty.
sure we have,
All right, let's see.
but I know we cut them off before the excerpt is finished. So I was thinking if we went back and like went into the other half of one of them.
Okay. Um, let's see here. You want to do something newer? Celestial Burden, Cosmic
I say
Echoes.
let's go back to one of the OGs
All right, let's do that.
and go further into the excerpt. Yeah.
All right. Oh yeah, so these are the first ones on here since like January. All right. Gilded Descent. How about that one? I'm pretty sure we've already checked that, but not the second half. Should we hop in there?
Right.
All right.
Let's go.
Let's cut this. All right.
TMH Comics, Spotify, Amazon, and Web Novel.
Yes, sir. All right.
All right, let's jump right into it.
I'm gonna go. How about right there? We'll play the last 8 minutes so y'all can hear how this wraps up.
And again, let us know what you think in the comments, people. We want to hear from you.
You see Scott struggling with his own self-worth, and there's always this sense that Evelyn is kind of
I think we might be having a little microphone difficulty. Give us just a second.
All right, let's try that again, guys. Hold on. Thanks for catching that, Chris.
Of course.
All right, so let's do this.
Stay with us, people. We fix it on the fly here.
All right, there it is. We're back.
Okay, let's get into it.
People who actually care about him too. It's like he's putting up walls instead of, I don't know, building connections, you know?
Yeah, and being isolated like that just makes...
Hold on. I wanted to run it back from where we started. Let me see. There it is. Okay.
completely changes his trajectory, gives him knowledge, opens doors to a world he never even imagined.
But I kept wondering, is she really just trying to help him? Or is there more to it than that?
Right. It's never really clear. You see Scott struggling with his own self-worth, and there's always this sense that Evelyn is kind of controlling him, shaping him to fit her own vision, maybe.
Right, like, is he becoming who she wants him to be, not who he really is? There's a fine line there for sure.
For sure. And it gets even more complicated when you see what happens to Scott. It makes you think about how far a mentor should go, you know, how much responsibility they have for what their mentee does.
And then there's the whole idea of power, how it can corrupt. I mean,
Yeah.
we watched Scott change, going from this young guy wanting to make things right to, well, basically becoming a ruthless criminal. It's kind of scary.
Classic hubris, right? The more power and money Scott gets, the more paranoid he becomes, more isolated. He ends up really unhappy, even with all that success. Shows you that chasing power can really mess you up, even if you're doing it to try to get a better life.
And he starts pushing away people who actually care about him, too. It's like he's putting up walls instead of, I don't know, building connections, you know?
Yeah, and being isolated like that just makes the paranoia worse. He spirals further into darkness. Hancock doesn't sugarcoat it. You see the toll it takes on Scott mentally. He loses his empathy, his ability to connect with people on a real level.
It makes you think maybe he never really believed he deserved anything good. Like maybe those insecurities were always there pushing him toward that darkness. What do you think?
Interesting point. I mean, you can't discount Scott's past, all that trauma, the poverty, the crime. It probably left him feeling like he wasn't worthy of good things. And then you add ambition to that mix. Well, it's a recipe for disaster, isn't it?
The book really hits you with these moral dilemmas. Scott keeps getting these chances to make the right choice, to use Evelyn's money for something good, but he keeps going for more power, more money, and that just leads to more darkness. It feels really real, you know?
It is. And what's so good is that Hancock doesn't make Scott out to be some purely evil villain. He's complex, driven by his ambition, sure, but also fear, insecurity, maybe even some messed up loyalty to Evelyn's memory. He's a mess of contradictions, but that's what makes him human, I think.
Oh, for sure. You find yourself rooting for him, even when it gets harder and harder to justify the things he's doing.
Exactly. And that's how the book really digs into morality. It's not about right and wrong, black and white. It's about all the messy stuff in between, the tough choices people make, and how those choices affect everyone, not just Scott.
And we can't talk about morals without mentioning Detective Michael Harrington. He's the opposite of Scott in so many ways, representing this unyielding pursuit of justice, you know.
Harrington, he's such an interesting character. He's dedicated to doing his job, but he runs into these ethical gray areas too, especially when he sees all the corruption in the system he's supposed to be upholding.
That's what I like about him. He doesn't just accept the way things are. He's trying to change things, make people in power accountable, even when it's hard.
And that's what makes him such a good contrast to Scott.
Right?
He's ambitious too, but not for himself. He wants justice, fairness, two totally different kinds of drive.
His methods are pretty interesting too. Financial records, wiretaps, getting witnesses to talk. It takes a lot of patience and strategy. Makes you realize that getting justice, especially against someone powerful, takes a long time.
Oh, yeah. And as he's investigating, it really highlights this idea of how money and power can shield people from consequences. Makes you think about the real world, how often people in charge get away with doing bad things.
Makes you wonder if the system is even meant to provide justice, or if it's just there to protect the powerful.
That's a good point. And I think that's something the book definitely brings up. It's not just about individual choices. It's about the systems that allow corruption and inequality to thrive.
So we've got individual ambition, moral choices, and then the bigger societal forces that shape those choices. And then at the center of it all, you've got Scott and Harrington going head to head.
Exactly. Like two sides of a coin.
Yeah.
Both ambitious, both working within a system that's broken in a lot of ways. It's fascinating, really.
And that final confrontation, the way Hancock sets it up, it's more than just a fight. It's about these two different ideas of justice, of power. It's going to be huge.
Oh, yeah. And that's where we're headed next.
I'm so ready to see how this all ends. I have a feeling we're in for some surprises.
All right. We're back and ready to dive into the final part of the Gilded Descent. Man, when we left off, things were not looking good for Scott.
Yeah.
Everything's falling apart. Harrington's closing in. The tension is just like through the roof.
Yeah, you can really feel the pressure building in these last chapters. Hancock knows how to ratchet up that suspense, that's for sure. And it's not just the external stuff, the cops and the threats. It's like Scott's coming apart from the inside, too. Yeah, he's a completely different person from that ambitious young guy we met at the beginning, the one who was so eager to learn from Evelyn. Now he's just consumed by paranoia, sees enemies everywhere he looks, even among the people he trusts. It's like all that power twisted him into something, well, kind of monstrous.
It's kind of chilling how Hancock shows that transformation through what Scott does.
Mm-hmm.
There's this one scene, it's brutal, where he takes out a guy who used to be his friend. And there's just like zero remorse. It really hits you how ambition, when it goes unchecked, can just strip away your humanity.
It's a tough lesson, right? That climb to the top, it often comes with compromises. And those compromises, they can chip away at your morals until you're capable of things you never thought you could do.
Yeah, it's good tragedy. Scott, he starts out wanting to redeem himself, make a better life. But somewhere along the way, he loses sight of that. He gets so obsessed with power that he loses himself.
And on the other side of this whole thing, you've got Detective Harrington laser focused on bringing Scott down. What I find really interesting is how Hancock takes us inside Harrington's investigation. We see all the work, all the details that go into building a case like this, especially against someone as powerful and connected as Scott.
Those scenes are important for sure. They show you that getting justice, it's not easy. It takes time, it takes strategy, and sometimes, well, you got to bend the rules a little.
Which makes you think, right? Like, when you're fighting for justice, can you use any means necessary? Does Harrington, in his pursuit of Scott, cross any lines himself? Does he compromise his own sense of right and wrong?
That's a question that hangs over the whole story, I think. Harrington, he's not some perfect hero. He's got flaws, he makes mistakes, and sometimes he has to make really tough calls, the kind that put him in a gray area, morally speaking.
But even with those flaws, he never gives up on his goal. He's going to bring Scott down, expose the corruption that helped him get to the top. And that brings us to the final chapters, man.
Talk about intense. Hancock just throws everything at you. Betrayals, alliances you don't see coming, and so many twists and turns. It's a wild ride.
It's like he's saying, hey, you think you know what's going to happen? Think again. In this world, you can't trust anyone, and even the best laid plans can blow up in your face.
That's part of what makes it so gripping, you know? You never know what's coming next, who's going to backstab who's going to end up, well, not making it out alive. Keeps you guessing until the very end.
And then that final showdown between Scott and Harrington, it all goes down in this abandoned warehouse on the edge of the city. The setting itself is like a symbol of everything that Scott's ambition has destroyed.
That scene, it's so well written. You can feel the tension, the raw emotions. Scott's lost everything, the money, the power, the image he built up. He's stripped bare, fighting for his life, pure instinct.
And you see Harrington wrestling with what he's doing, trying to bring Scott down, but knowing there might be a price to pay for it.
And that ending, man, it's not what you'd expect at all. It leaves you hanging, makes you ask all these questions. Did Scott get what he deserved? Was justice really served? Did Harrington do things he's not proud of to get there?
It's powerful, that ambiguity. It makes you think about your own ideas of justice, right and wrong, about how complicated people are.
It's like Hancock saying, hey, life isn't always black and white. There aren't always easy answers, especially when you're dealing with power, corruption, and the fact that people can be both good and bad.
And that's why The Gilded Descent is such a great book. It's entertaining, it's thought-provoking, and it sticks with you long after you've finished it.
Absolutely. It challenges you to look at your own beliefs, to think about the choices you make. And it reminds you that even the smallest decisions can have huge consequences, not just for you, but for everyone around you.
Well, we've covered a lot in this deep dive into The Gilded Descent. We've talked about the plot, the characters, and all those bigger themes that make you think about the world we live in. Any final thoughts you want to leave us with?
For me, it's a warning. Be careful what you wish for, you know? Ambition can be a dangerous thing. It can blind you to what really matters, and you can lose yourself chasing after power and money. But it's also a story about hope, about the chance to change, to find redemption, even when things seem impossible.
That's a great message, and I think it's one we can all relate to.
Totally. We all have choices to make, right? Choices that shape our lives for better or for worse. And The Gilded Descent, it reminds us to think about those choices, to think about what we're willing to sacrifice, and to hold on to our values no matter what.
Well said. And on that note, we've come to the end of our deep dive into The Gilded Descent.
Wow.
Woo!
Dang. Power, morality, systems, good cops.
Twist and turn.
Yeah, I like that.
Absolutely.
Gilded Descent, people. Check out a little teaser, Spotify, and then go buy a copy on Amazon. And if you don't like
And
that,
there's a whole lot of those.
there's like 20 or 30 in there available, right? So again, read 10 pages a day, people. Keep your mind sharp, keep it fresh.
Feed your brain.
Support the team. Let's go.
All right.
So we got like
We got some
5
fun
minutes.
stuff coming.
Yeah. What's next?
Spaceball. Who remembers it? I remember it too.
I remember being a kid watching
R.I.P.
it.
John Candy.
Yeah. That was like I didn't know what to make of it. Star Wars was a little bit before my time. Like I think if you're in the 70s, man, you are hardcore Star Wars, right? And I'm in the 80s, so it was still big, but I remember seeing this and I didn't know what to make of it though, right? Because everything was like a parody. And again, I was like a little kid and it was just goofy. He had the big mask and it was like too big for his like so many moments.
Dark helmet.
Oh my god. So yeah, Tell me more, man. Is this coming to theaters? Is this coming straight to streaming? Where can we catch this?
Right now, all I know is that it's work.
I Oh, it's saying 2027.
It's a
Amazon.
reboot.
Amazon MGM. Hold on.
Okay. So I don't know who remembers it, but I'm fan casting right now. Our favorite little psycho superhero. And I'm not talking about Deadpool. I'm talking about Bob. Just happens to be the son of the main character of this movie. This was Bill Pullman.
Oh, Bill Pullman. I was like, who's the main character, man? Rick Moranis? Who are you talking about?
Part of the core. Yep. But Bill Pullman and John Candy played Han Solo, Chewbacca, parody Lite character. In which Pullman's character was actually a blend of Luke Skywalker and Han Solo into one character. I don't blame. Why pay two people when you can just have one main character? It is what it is.
Yeah.
But so he ends up being the guy driving the ship. He's the loner. He's the, you know what I mean? But then at the same time, he ends up being the chosen one to wield the weapon and all that. May the sports be with you. All of that. Mel Brooks. Anytime you want to see spoof parodies and stuff, Mel Brooks just hit the whole career of that.
Yeah. He's your guy.
He's your guy.
I feel like that's missing right now, unless I'm missing something. Maybe it's like on YouTube or TikTok or short form content that maybe I'm missing, you know?
Thank you for reminding me. This one's not in the banner, people.
Ooh.
Liam Neeson is going to do comedy.
Say what?
He is reprising the role of Lieutenant Frank Drebin
Was that police
of
captain?
the Naked Gun.
Oh, Naked Gun. I should have known that. Wow.
He's playing Frank Drebin Jr.
Wow.
It is not a reboot.
Let's go.
It's another sequel in the saga.
That's gonna be interesting. And I know Liam Neeson, he's usually a part of like quality projects. So something to be excited
They're
about.
making this real. Absolutely.
I loved those movies when I was a kid, man.
Right. I think Bloodsport, for anybody that was a big fan of the action 80s and 90s, it wasn't just Stallone and Schwarzenegger. Chuck Norris has a better reputation than both of them. Right?
I just had to pull this
There
up.
we go. It's real.
Wow, Paramount. Okay.
It's coming.
My bad. All right, Bloodsport. You're talking about Van Damme?
Yes.
Jean-Claude.
And I do believe somebody made mention of Scott Adkins, who is very, very deep in the martial arts world and in the fight choreography world when it comes to movies. Him and Michael Jai White have been pals forever and work on choreography all the time and actually fight for real. Like they're both former pro fighters. So it is pretty nice to see them do some action. Right. Anybody who knows Scott knows what his fight sequence looks like.
Oh,
He's
he was
nice.
in
Nice.
Undisputed? Is that right?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah, I just found a, a cool photo actually. A little photo op. Cause I never saw Ong Bak, but I remember hearing about that. That was a buzzing movie. I guess
Scott has done a lot.
Scott is here on the far left, Undisputed. I guess he's the actor that was in Ong Bak, and then oh my God,
Tony Jaa and Dolph Lundgren.
Dolph Lundgren. There we go. There we go. Man,
Mm-hmm.
senior moment, man. That's gonna be exciting. Man,
That's how long he's been doing stuff.
They really taking it back to the 80s right now. I mean, I guess, of course, with all the different reboots, so it's just, oh, that's rebooting. Teenage Mutant Ninja
Sure
Turtles,
enough.
He-Man, Voltron, rebooting.
Henry Cavill.
Yeah. Man, he's about to have the best.
Who was also doing Highlander. So for those of you who are too young to understand Celtic Tribal War, there can be only one. Now I want to know if he's going to be Connor McLeod of the Clan McLeod, or if he actually may be Duncan from the Highlander series of the Clan McLeod. And man, his last name is escaping me. But Adrian somebody, and I was a big fan of that show.
Of Highlander?
It was very popular for a while. Please tell me you remember that it was.
Did I remember what?
That Highlander was a TV series.
Oh, no. I remember it from back in the days. I didn't watch it, though. But I do remember
it. What?
Yeah, I didn't watch this one, man. I think...
you don't know what you missed.
Yeah, this dropped in 86. I was probably still, like, watching morning cartoons and G.I. Joe and He-Man and stuff.
Oh, the original movie? Yeah. Certain.
Yeah, I didn't get into this. So you must be hyped, man.
Very. That's OG right there.
Yeah.
And man, the guy's name is escaping me. But I think Sean Connery was one of his team Klansmen, and he had to fight him in that first one.
Oh yeah.
In order to become immortal.
Whoa, this guy Clancy Brown, this dude is in everything.
Yes. Christopher Lambert.
Oh, you saw it? There it is.
That's his name. But you're right. Clancy Brown is in some stuff now.
He's in everything, man.
He was in Penguin.
Which one?
Penguin.
Oh yeah, that's why we were watching it.
He was the head of the Maroney family.
We're trying to find a new show, and I'm like, dude, this guy again, because I remember him from Deadwood, and then I remember him from something else, and he's always
That's right.
guy, and it's like, damn, this guy just got lining up jobs, man.
He don't never stop working because he's a good actor.
Yeah. Wow, he was in Pet Sematary.
No.
Wow, Dexter. That's crazy, man. I sometimes, like, I really love stories like that when, again, you got the big mega stars, and then you got these role players. They're not the mega star, but man, they got a portfolio, man. They got a good resume.
But they're so good that they basically hold the show down.
I mean, Jesus, this guy was in Flubber in 97. I mean, if he's in Highlander, of course, that's even further back, but he was in Flubber. And then
Robin Williams.
Invincible, dude. Like, that's unreal.
Exactly.
That must be nice, man. That's the
now
way.
pull up the TV show.
Highlander TV show?
Yes.
From 86, right?
Nah, it was in the 90s.
Oh, okay. Let me see.
Yeah, it was after the series. You know, the movie was like three. It was three. It was a three-part saga, and then they did the show after. The TV show was almost colder than the movies. That's why I was like, man. There we go.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't watch this either, man. I, I swear, it's probably like just the ADHD or what was this, 92, 98? Yeah,
Yep.
I was messing around.
I'm telling you straight up, man.
All right, here's the cast. Yeah, Adrian Paul. That's who you're talking about.
Adrian Paul. That's his name. Henry Cavill looks more like this character. And same last name.
Your headphones died.
So hang on just a second. The sound issue.
Highlander. Endgame. See, you know what? I'm messing around and looking at different links or whatever, and I'm not even realizing that you're not even seeing what I'm looking at.
Okay, are you here?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Coming in loud and clear.
Okay, perfect. There we go. Yes. That was the last move.
Well, I wonder what channel this was on. Was it like USA or something?
For a long time, it did come on USA, I believe. Yeah. They had it interesting too. They were finding other immortals from everywhere. And man, he had this one kid that he found was an immortal, but he wouldn't kill this guy, so he ended up being like family. And he just lives with the kid, and he's immortal with him. Now he's teaching him how to go through the process, making him a better fighter, teaching him how to survive through the centuries. And I think at one point they do cross time periods where they go through like so many deaths in one town, or the guy's girlfriend getting too old to still with him or something like that. You know, because they don't age. Not after their first death. Because that's part of it. They're immortals. So they age all the way up to their first death. And after that, once they begin coming back to life, they don't age anymore. It's stuck that way.
That's interesting. I wonder what the inspiration was. Was this inspired by a book, or just?
I think it has to be a book. I don't think anybody would think this long about one thing. And it's got to be old folklore at the same time. Scotland and Wales, you know.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing too, right? They can drop the movie, which is just its own thing, and then spin off all these other series or another spin-off show or other characters.
And then turn around and blend them together in a final movie.
Yeah.
Where you have the movie main character and the TV main character that you told everybody was related. So you couldn't avoid making them cross over. They were both from the clan McLeod. Connor McLeod and Duncan McLeod. So they had to meet.
I might have to check this out for real. Like, I'm really, hey, if you're out there, you catch this. What do I need to watch right now? Like, I'm just looking for a nice show, engaging, good characters, maybe funny. Just something easy to watch with the wifey.
I like gritty. with a side of stupid. HBO Max.
All right, what do I need to watch if I want some gritty?
Duster.
Which one? Oh, Duster.
Duster.
Is that's like 70s, right? That 70s vibe?
Yes, it is.
Okay, let me.
I'm only going to give you one spoiler.
All right.
Because I'm a car guy.
All right.
And I know most people aren't, but there are some car guys that are going to be like, we knew that. Duster's the car.
Mmm.
It's a Dodge Duster.
Dodge Duster.
Which is like a version of a Charger or a Challenger. I can't remember which one.
Yeah, it looks kind of like a Charger.
And the Charger and Challenger back then had similar body. You almost couldn't tell them apart. Sexy man.
Yeah, that looks pretty clean. I like these vibes, man. Like this.
That yellow one looks more like a Barracuda. Because that looks like what Don Johnson was driving in Nash Bridges. It's just a convertible. Nope, it's a Duster.
Yeah.
But the Cuda is a Plymouth too.
All right, I'm gonna have to check that out then. Yeah, we tried Penguin. We I'm probably 3 or 4 episodes into Lazarus. We were watching Righteous Gemstones. That one hit for a bit.
I hadn't checked it out. I think it was a little too far over the stupid meter for me.
It was a little bit. Like I think the first. Here's the thing: we just put it on sometimes and we're paying attention, and then other times we're not, and we start laughing or whatever. But yeah, it definitely. By like season 3, it was kind of like, all right, there's not really much going on here. It's just kind of stupid. But yeah. So like, which one?
Bookie.
What is that?
It's also on Max.
Damn, they got everything. You know what's funny? You know what's funny? I was
actually about to cancel that.
Let me see. Bookie.
It's hilarious, bro.
Really?
This is actually a comedy.
All right, I might have to.
But it's gambling and drugs, and so it's dark.
I know him. I've seen him before.
But it's hilarious.
Hold up.
Yeah, he's a stand-up comic.
Yeah, he looks. Yeah, they look. Charlie Sheen. Oh, what?
Oh yeah.
Hugo from Lost. No.
Yep.
Good for him.
He's very stupid in this movie. It's not a movie. It's series. He's.
I swear.
He's messed up.
You know, I say this every week. I'm out of touch, right? But like, I remember just 20 years ago when everyone was watching Lost, and then 10 years, 15 years ago, everyone was watching Walking Dead. Like, I'm missing that right now. You didn't watch Lost?
Those are 2 shows I haven't seen not one episode of. Hey, I got some stuff that I'm out of the loop on too.
Yeah.
But I do it intentionally because I'm not afraid to admit when some stuff just doesn't attract me.
Yeah. See?
I ain't never been a zombie movie, scary movie fanatic like that. Right? So they just don't do it for me. I'm much more attracted to looking for the action and the comedy. And then maybe some historic political, something moving. Denzel Washington is confirmed for Black Panther now.
Denzel.
That is all we know at this time.
Hey, did you see Gladiator 2?
I did.
What'd you think?
I thought it wasn't nearly as good as one.
Mm-hmm.
But they have nothing to do with Denzel.
Yeah.
The movie itself just was not as good.
Yeah.
They waited too long to do it.
Yeah.
The whole feel of the movie was gone all those years back.
Yeah.
At least the writing of it, right?
Something didn't feel right. That's all I gotta say. Something just definitely did not feel right.
And I'm telling you what it was. It's called picking it up 20 years later. Now trying to write the other half of that story.
Yeah.
George Lucas didn't just pick up the rest of these stories. They've been written. The same time that the original Star Wars came out. All nine chapters of this book was written.
Wow.
It's a nine-book story. They were all written already. And he picked the middle. The first three Star Wars movies from the late 70s, 80s, right? A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi are books 4, 5, and 6. Okay? And then he said, why was I this stupid to not put the rest of the movies out till this up? So then he was like, I tell y'all what? Prequel. I'm going to give you the story of Darth Vader. So many years later. But it's actually the first three freaking books. Because he wrote them chronologically. He wrote them with Anakin growing up, becoming Darth Vader, having Luke and Leia, letting them grow up, becoming who they are, fighting in the war, becoming Jedi, and then getting old themselves and passing the torch.
That's sick. I didn't know that.
The only thing I think that wasn't written, I think they changed. I don't think Rey is Rey in the books. I don't think it's a girl.
Disney be
I
doing
want to go back. I don't think in the original books, I don't think it's a girl.
because that's the Disney play now, right? They already had the Star Wars IP. Yeah.
They bought it from George. Absolutely. Just like they bought Marvel Stan Lee before he passed.
I love Disney. We just tried watching Snow White. My youngest picked that last night. We're fresh from Disneyland. We're all into like, oh, Disney.
Yeah, how was that trip?
Oh, amazing, man. It was unreal. It was like 90 degrees, hella hot, but
yeah,
it wasn't as packed because we went right after Memorial Day weekend. I imagine they had a huge spike in attendance. Everyone was there, 3-day weekend, and boom, we got in on Friday to Sunday. We're at the park, so it was real easy.
How long did it take you to drive out there?
1 hour flight. We fly the whole family down, man. I'm too old, man. It's only a 6-hour drive, but there's like 3-hour long stretch, like a 200-mile stretch along the 5, and you're just in the middle of the desert, and it's just 2 lanes straight away. I hate that.
Oh yeah.
I can't handle that. I get through this weird
That's
like
that real
tunnel
West Coast
vision.
California desert driving. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's weird though, cause like you would think just post back and just drive, but like going straight for like 3 hours, I don't know, man. It plays tricks on your mind, man. Like, yeah,
it does.
Like real talk.
If it's too hot, you start seeing the wavy line.
Yeah, I feel like I'm about to like drive off the freaking straight road. Like it don't make no sense, man. But I'm just like there, like whoa, hold on, you know. And I'm getting anxiety.
You're like, wake up.
So it's definitely
It's drifted.
Yeah, and like I have a little Prius V, so I got a little tiny car, and like all of us can fit in there, the 5 of us, but probably not with our luggage. It'll be like a tight fit, and then so if
you got a seat.
V. So like the station wagon.
V is the big station wagon.
It's still small, man. Like I need a
Can't fit your luggage in there?
Hell no, man, dude. Come on, man. There's 5 of us. Come on.
Time to upgrade to a RAV4.
I'm eyeing a freaking Macan, dude, MDX, but we'll see what happens, man.
Let this show take off. We'll all be driving Porsche.
Hell yeah.
With you.
Hell yeah. So, but yeah, by the time I get a rental, get a little minivan, by the time we fill that up once, twice, back and forth,
Yeah, you might
it's the same price as a flight, man. I'm just like, dude, why not?
My only reason for asking is because you're in the same state.
Yeah.
It takes me the same time to drive to another state to go to Disney World.
That's wild.
From Atlanta to Orlando is only about 5 or 6 hours, 6.5 maybe at the most.
Wow. That's a trip for me because like you're right. I mean everything is like a mile or two. An hour or two away from each other. But man, we're like a third of the whole West Coast. Like Cali's so big.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can't wait to go to Atlanta,
over there.
East Coast. I want to check it out.
Oh man, you'll have a ball down there.
We gotta set that up. We're gonna have to set that up.
Hey, I've never been to California.
Hey.
Yes, I'm ashamed to admit that. I do it anyway.
You know everybody be hating on California anyways, man.
Not us.
I know you ain't. I'm just saying. I know some people do. They be hating hard.
I mean, Georgia.
Yeah.
Has always had kind of a kinship with a few different states. California is one of them.
Hell yeah. All love, man. That's all it is. Let's go.
California, Michigan. Of course, like you said, Georgia, Florida line. Like. Yeah.
How about Louisiana?
Yeah. Most definitely Louisiana.
Okay, just making sure.
That's
I would
probably New Orleans is probably, even though don't look at the football rivalry. Like that's a brotherly rivalry between us.
Yeah.
Like neither one of us would choose to be a rival with any other team.
Mm-hmm.
They gonna travel up here to watch the games when they're here. We gonna travel down there to watch the games when they're down there. Everybody gonna be on party buses, and we have a ball between the Saints and the Falcons. We be talking big trash, but we also be big crab boils and big barbecues and wings and all that.
Yeah, I love that.
Right.
Still love, man.
Yeah.
All right. We overtime.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
We always do that.
Yeah, it's all good, man. Hey, it's always great connecting, man. You are my freaking source. You just know it all, man. So it's always very interesting.
I try to provide my services to the best of my ability.
I'm glad you are sharing your gift with the world. CJ, another amazing show, man. Always great connecting.
Ed. Always good to see you, brother.
Yeah, baby. All right. Until
shout out to all the rest of the team.
Yep.
Again, don't forget to shop for us. We on Amazon.com, but put a couple dollars. Listen to us on Spotify. You can even find us on YouTube.
Yep.
And on Web.
Yep.
That's Ed Talks. I'm CJ the Beat God. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. Till next week.